This video contains the weird, the gross, and the macabre. If you don't like that, turn away right now. Otherwise, keep on watching. Righty ho. Recently, I had surgery performed on me. I'd had an injury from basketball on my shoulder, and they repaired it with, from what I can understand, a SLAP or SLAP repair and biceps tendinosis, something along those lines. Either way, big recovery time, all that kind of thing. But before they actually did the surgery, I had to fill out all the consent forms as you do, and one of the boxes I ticked, I thought quite a bit about it when I ticked it, like what would this even be? But they were asking if anything taken out of me I would like returned to me. I was like, I don't think I'm getting anything taken out anyway. But I was like, fuck it, if I want it back. That's my body, I want it. Ticked the box, didn't think anything of it. Eventually woke up from surgery and got given the old specimen bag. Return body part to patient. So inside it was a big piece of tendon. And I was like, oh my God, like, had no idea where it came from. Looked it up, found out where it came from. I was like, oh my God, like, may not have got the job done if I'd known that was what they were going to do. But either way, everyone that's had it that I know thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. So we'll see. I'm still recovering as we speak. Either way, I thought about it, hummed and hard. What am I going to do with this anyway? Like, I put it in my fridge for a bit to keep it, I guess, fresh. I don't know. Again, not thinking too much about it. And what was I going to do? Bury it, plant a tree on it, I don't know, feed it to the dog, eat it. No idea. So eventually I come up with the idea to cast it in resin. I bought some resin, had a few practice goes because I wasn't too sure. I've done resin before, casting before, and I wasn't too sure if it'd float or sink. So I had a couple of practice goes. This is a piece of like old friendship bracelet that basically rotted off me. All that for way too long. Bubbles and that, don't worry about that. It was more about looking, you can see it's floated. You can kind of see the ripples where it's been pushed in. That was a single block that I weighted to a certain point and then kind of pushed it into it. Turned out okay, not what I wanted though, not very clear, all that kind of stuff. And then I tried another one with some dog hair, which I knew would float, and did the same kind of thing with that. It turned out okay. Again, none's exposed, so it would have worked, but bubbly as hell just from pushing on it and continuously having to put it back in as it tried to float out. Not ideal. And then I tried it with what I thought would be the closest thing to the tendon itself, and I just had a piece of cooked chicken. As you can see, I did this in 2 layers, lots of bubbles, but don't worry too much about that. And it sunk, so I was like, okay, cool. Fairly certain the tendon will do the same. It sort of had the same kind of heft and weight to it, I guess. I thought, yep, so this is where I want to go. Do a single pour, wait for it to cure, lay the tendon on top, pour on top of that, sink to the bottom, perfect. Bob's your uncle, nothing to worry about. And in the end, I eventually did the tendon, and here it is. A little bit of bubbles, but I don't have any vacuum chambers or anything like that to get rid of them, so it did pretty well. Bottom layer is really quite good. But as you can see, it's quite white for a start, and by the looks of it, it cooked while the resin was curing. The heat of it cooked it. I've actually noticed in the last few days it's actually it's hard to kind of see. You can see it on the back there. It's starting to peel off the plastic, so it will eventually dry up and rot in there, I think. But you can see like little bits of damage and that kind of thing to the tendon itself. That's how it came out of me like that. Yeah, so I thought it was a pretty cool project, but as you can see, like the real problem I had with it was, so it did sink as I thought it would, up until this point right here, and that part started floating, and I kept trying to push it down again, and a lot of those bubbles are caused by that, but it just kept floating up, and eventually I fell asleep before I actually got to the point where it would have been cured enough to hold it down. So a bit of a failure there, but either way it's still completely 100% cast in there. So you can kind of see it doesn't reach the outside world, but I thought it was a cool little project. little bit of. I thought it was funny as hell. No one else seems to think it's funny. They all think it's a bit weird, but I don't know. Being a human's kind of weird in itself, isn't it? Everything we do is weird, so fuck it. Yeah, that's that anyway. Yeah.